Hello, my name is Ma, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to undo changes on Git if you've messed up or if you force pushed something that you shouldn't have and you messed up your Git history. Okay, before we start, I just want to kindly ask you to visit my website and check out my posts. They're all software engineering related posts, so you might find one or two of them quite useful for you. But let's get into it now. I've got here a dummy Git repository that I've created for a previous video on how to use Git Rebase Interactive. And that is one of the cases where you may want to sort of undo your changes because it involves force pushing for the most part, and you may mess things up occasionally. So I think this is a good follow-up video for that. So if you look at my Git log here, I've made some README changes to my readme.md file recently, and then some very important Python changes to my dummy Python file as well. But let's say that maybe I've forgotten to basically push one of my changes with my README changes, and I want to include it in the same commit as the README changes commit that I've previously done, this one here, and pushed onto my remote Git repository. So basically it would probably look something like this. So I've edited my README file, and I'm now gonna sort of create a dummy commit for it that I'm gonna fix up. And in fact, I'm gonna add it first, and then I'm going to commit. And then let's say I actually want to basically include this commit into my previous Git one, and obviously I'll be using Git Rebase Interactive for that, as you can see in my previous video. And here's my, my latest commit highlighted here, and I hope that you can see that. I hope the text is clear enough. But let's say I want to fix up, and I also want to basically include that in my previous README change here. So this, these two will be merged, and the message for this commit will then be deleted, and then all the changes will be just in this git commit here. But let's say that I've accidentally also changed, for example, I've done something like this instead, and I've actually fixed up, two of my changes, which means these two changes here will be included in my Python one, which is a bad thing to do. I mean, I shouldn't be trying to fix it up if the changes are unrelated. But say I went ahead with it, I didn't notice it, I did that, and then I went to force pusher like this. From Git's perspective, this is all fine. This is a perfectly normal operation, and it does accept that just fine. But now I've figured out that if I do, my Git log with name only, I can see that my very important Python changes actually include some README changes here, and my README changes commit has disappeared. In general, it's not here at all. So I can't really just, git reset hard to it. And the answer to that, when you've got a situation like this, whether you're Rebase Interactive or whether you've done a bad merge and already pushed it, only to realize it was a very bad merge when, your program has built on the pipeline or something, is to use git reflog. So git reflog is kind of like git log, but it does include all of the local changes as well that you've made, so all of the git operations that you've executed, and it kind of looks like this. Oops, if I can spell it right. There you go, third time lucky. So you can see my entire sort of git operations that I've done here. So I've got git rebase up here, and I've got git rebase again here to fix up. So there's two rebase changes here. And before that, I've got the git rebase -i, and this is all like different operations that are incurred when you do a git rebase interactive. So this is, these are the bad changes, and you basically have to look at them and figure out which is a good git commit that you can revert to, which is a good git state that you were previously, that you can, undo all of these changes. And essentially, in my particular case, it would be here. I mean, at this stage, I was, still fairly happy, because at this point, I just committed my README fix-up changes, and it was a separate git commit, and it wasn't fixed up. It didn't destruct any of my previous git commits with force push or anything like that. So all you have to do is to figure out which is the right change before you've messed up. Copy the hash here. And then what you can do is do a git reset hard on that hard change. So basically you copy this SHA commit here, and then you do git reset hard, and then you put the hash in here. And now you can see this message here that the head is now at this hash where you did a README, where you did your README fix up. And if you do a git log, all is fine, all is basically undone as it should right here. So you can see my readme fix-up commit here. And then I can basically do the right thing, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. Rebase I head, say I pick the latest 3 commits. And all I wanted to do is just fix up one of the commits, which will go into the previous readme changes. If I save that file and close it, you can see that Git has successfully rebased my changes. And if I look at the Git log, you can see that I still have that readme commit here, which now should include my latest readme changes as well that I wanted to fix up and include in that commit in the first place, as well as keeping the very important Python changes here alone. And you can see that it did work, because if I do name only, my files are in the right place now. So all my readme changes are inside the readme changes commit here, and my Python is still there. Okay, so again, this does require force pushing, so you have to do force release again, but you have essentially successfully fixed up your messes on Git. And this is something that I come across quite a lot. There's many people online asking how to essentially undo anything on Git, and Git reflog is your answer. When you can't just do a simple Git reset, reflog has your backup. It has all of the local changes that you've done, all of the local operations. Git never forgets anything, so it will be there. So as long as you find the right commit to revert back to, in other words, the right state of your Git repository to revert back to, Git reflog will work just fine. Okay, and this is pretty much it for this tutorial. It's quite a short one, and I hope it has helped you quite a lot, especially to undo your changes at work. This has happened to me quite, many times. I can't even count them. But that's it. Once again, if you've got any questions, any suggestions, any feedback, feel free to comment down below on the video, and I'll reply to you as soon as possible. Also, have a look at my website, check out my posts, and subscribe to the channel. It will also help me out quite a lot. And that is it for this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.